Seriously, Nev, how you holding for cash? I'm a bit bloody broke.
Listen, mate, what are you talking about? There's no cash here. Here, there's no cash, all right? Cash, no. Robbo? No cash.
I'll tell you what, you try getting from where you're sitting to the front door, because I reckon I could shoot you from where you're sitting to the front door, because that's about as long as you've got to produce some money for me right now. I'll give you 20 seconds to produce some cash, or else I'll fucking shoot you. 1, 2,
I've got no cash, mate.
4,
I told you I've got no cheese. Listen, you come in,
7,
I fucking get your drinks. What's the matter with you?
Sit the fuck down.
Listen,
10, 11, 12, 13,
mate. What are you
14,
doing?
15,
Stop with the
16,
fucking counting. What are you counting for?
18,
Take it easy.
19.
So you took him to the hospital?
No, I didn't take him to the bloody hospital. Now tell me this, right? Why would I shoot a bloke, bang, and then put him in the bloody car and whiz him off to the hospital at 100 miles an hour? It defeats the purpose of having shot him in the first place. What's more, it's bloody insulting. It's bloody insulting. I mean, am I the only bloody standover man in the country who provides a medical plan for some of these characters?
Hello and welcome back everybody to another YoJoeJerk toy review. I'm your host, Dick Jones, and welcome to my weekly haul. We got a lot of fun stuff this week. We got some new stuff, some Kitbashes here and there, and some new figures, and we got a new demon girl. I also hit up a local toy show, and I want to show you guys some fun stuff that I picked up mega cheap there. So without further ado, let's start this weekly haul. First up, we're gonna go over my toy show haul. I got this retro carded white suit Storm, which I've been searching for a long time. Very pleased to find her for an extra cheap $20. The card's really nice, but I don't really care because she's just gonna come out and go into my X-Men collection. I only had the 2-pack version that came with Warpath, the more classic suit, so I missed out on this one. I'm glad to get it. Next up, thank you Walmart for making me have to pay $45 to complete my retro carded Spider-Man collection. Now these don't come out of the box. I have every one of them. I have been buying them from the beginning, and it kills me to look at them all the time and not have them open because it is a hell of a Spider-Man collection now. But the completist in me really wanted this one, and for 45 bucks, I think it was a steal. I see these things selling for like 60 plus shipping on like eBay, and that's if you're lucky. Up next, the Patch Wolverine retro carded. I just passed on this because I hate the head sculpt, but I'm just gonna put another Wolverine head on that, probably the brand new yellow suit X-Men version, and then I'll have a really kick-ass Patch figure. Plus, for 15 bucks, you cannot lose. Up next, I got the Valaverse Swarm Trooper, and the guy even threw in the accessory pack. And I did pay 60 bucks for both, but I think it was totally worth it, and I was a dumbass. All I ever got was the Sergeant Slaughter, and I buy all the weapons packs, and now I totally regret not buying all these. And this is just fucking awesome. We are definitely going to show this off. I'm going to open this and come back in a bit. Next up, I found Black Cat. I only have the retro carded version, and I am not opening it because I have them all on my wall. But for 25 bucks, I think this was a really good pickup. I didn't really look at the head and realize what a stupid grin she has on, so I'm probably going to have to kitbash that head away. But for 25 bucks, I'm very pleased, and I also get a build a Kingpin piece, which I really like. I got this Warpath really cheap, and I'm trying to build Strong Guy, and I've found pretty much this whole wave on discount. And like I said, I only have the 2-pack version, and that Warpath is so tiny. So for 10 bucks, this thing is pretty mutilated, but he's just going in my X-Men shelf. And then there was a Walgreens exclusive that I could not get my hands on at a real price. And I bought this from a friend of mine, and he gave me a little bit better of a deal than 30 bucks, but I don't really care what store he's from. He just looks really cool, and getting an extra Thor hammer is always awesome, and just getting a different kind of Silver Surfer is awesome, so very pleased. And that's it for my show stuff. Now let's look at the rest of this week's haul. All right, now that we have everybody lined up, let's check out some of this stuff. First up, I got another Hellwitch on liquidations. I got to add another YoJoeJerk girl to the table of fun over there. Real quick, I didn't do much to the Mezco Batman, but I did add a soft goods cloak to him. And this came off of a knockoff Alibaba number. Only paid 20 bucks for it. And I decided to take the body and I'm gonna use one of the extra Mezco heads and I'm gonna make a more articulated version out of this so I can get 2 Batmans for the price of 1, even though I paid 20 bucks for this fucking piece of garbage. I took a great picture of it before I opened it and I threw it up on the community page. But if you missed it, it's gonna be right here on the screen for a second. Look at that horrible monster. But I'll keep you updated. Like I said, I just popped the head off this thing because it looked horrible. But you get this really neat cowl. So if you have a Bat Cave diorama and you just want to do a Batman cowl, the head just popped right out of there, no problem. And you got a really cool cowl. But I gotta repaint it because they fucked that up too. The bat symbol is completely painted wrong. And by the way, don't buy this body on Alibaba. They gave you the same shins on either side, and I found out I have both the same arms, so he has 2 right arms. I'm gonna have to like drill and Dremel. So buy at your own risk if you like Alibaba. But just real quick, on the soft goods cloak, when you pop the head off the other one, it just lays flat down. And you just throw your Keaton head on, and it lays nice. I like the way it looks. The other cloak is just too bulky for me. I think this looks better than the leather pleather cape because it doesn't take away from this. When you have that weird pleather cape, it's just too fluffy, and then it makes it look like a toy. At least this, it's not taking your eyes away from the middle of the figure. Here we got the Super 7 Snake Eyes. We'll just get him out of the way real quick. These are not fun toys. They just look cool. You can pose them however you want. I like them. I do not think they're worth the money that they cost, but they nail it on everything. I mean, this looks like Snake Eyes out of the original G.I. Joe American Hero cartoon. Like, for real. Even down to the stupid little rifles that every G.I. Joe has. I love this. But the jetpack is a separate piece that just like loops around his back. They pretty much nailed it on all the details. Like I said, these aren't for everybody, but I already have a bunch of them and they look really good on the shelf together. One day I'll give you guys a collection tour once I get everything together because my shit is just a mess. Let's take a look at the timber that comes with them, and honestly, this thing is just, it's painted well and sculpted well, but it's like the cheapest plastic ever. And like the joints are just so-so, and honestly, you could just get the G.I. Joe 2-pack with Snake Eyes and Timber, either version, and you're gonna get a better timber. This does look exactly like the cartoon though, so I'm not gonna bag on it for that, but it really does feel cheap. And the tail isn't on a ball joint, it's just on a hinge, so like, you get that with his tail, or you get this with his tail, and I'm not crazy about it. And the joints are, they're smooth on the back, but like, he doesn't sit right, and you really can't get him into too many poses. His goofy head only has so much range, so, you know, don't be disappointed when you get this. It looks good, but that's about it. It has 0 play value. It really is just blah. Alright, real quick, gonna take a look at this patch Wolverine that I just got at the show. I just cracked them open and took a look at them and gathered all these Wolverine heads because I really dig this figure. I think it's awesome. I love patch Wolverine. It's the Wolverine from his first ongoing series, not the limited series. He wore this black suit for a couple issues and it was awesome, but I'm just not really into what they did to his face, and I've never liked this version of the hair sculpt, so it's time to break out the menagerie of heads, and we'll kitbash this and make it look better real quick. Now, these are all the heads I could assemble. I think it's enough Wolverine heads to take a look at for this little mini kitbash. First up, I think this is the retro carded head. It works, but I really don't like the old paint on these things. Their eyes always look goofy. Here's the Wolverine taking a shit head. I also don't like this hairstyle, and his eyebrows are freaking out of control on this thing, so I'll take the pass on this head as well. Here's the Amazon, like, 4-pack Wolverine. I'm starting to like these head sculpts better. They look a little bit more comic book accurate and not so Bobo. So I dig this one. This is good. Here, I think this is the Rides Wolverine head, but this is right on the money because this is Patch Wolverine with a Wolverine head with a patch. Like I said, I'm not crazy about the hair, but this one is probably the one I'm going to go with. I might have to do a little repainting on that eye and do some wash in the sculpt, and it might come out a little better. But this is on the money. I like this. And last up, we have the other head for the Amazon 2-pack, the beat up Wolverine head. And I think I like this head the best on it. I think this is the one that's gonna remain. I like that his ass is kicked, because in the comics he fights like all kinds of ninjas and the Hulk and all kinds of shit during that run, and it's awesome. So, seeing him beat up a little bit, this one works on the shelf really well. Here, let's take a look at an update of my Jackie Chan. I threw him on the Hawkeye body, and I used one of the G.I. Joe classified scarves. This is starting to look a lot better. I think his arms are a little bit too big for Jackie Chan, but this is like Armor of God, Operation Condor Jackie Chan, like adventure Jackie Chan. He's got his little pouch, his gloves, he looks a little beat up. So right now, this is where the Jackie Chan Kitbash is stopping for now, because I really like this. We might have to find some smaller arms, but this is looking a lot better. I like it. I'm just gonna grab this Obsidian Surfer here to take a look at him. This is really awesome. This is basically the same exact Silver Surfer that you get with the Galactus, except for, you know, he's Obsidian. And he comes with fists, and he comes with grabby hands, and he comes with effects, and I think this thing's awesome. I love it. And just for a quick comparison, here's the Silver Surfer himself, so you can really get a look at it. Awesome figure. Very happy to have it. I'm glad I finally found it for a nice cheap price. And just another awesome add to the collection. Real quick, we're going to take a look at this guy. And now this is a Kitbash of one of my favorite criminals in history. And one of my favorite movies, Bronson, has Tom Hardy playing him. But I thought this would be really funny just to make like a Bronson-looking figure. Because every time I look at Mindbender, I'm always like, that looks like Bronson if you know, just throw some sunglasses on him. And then I had other Valaverse figure I've ever had is this Sergeant Slaughter. And I just stripped all the gear off of him and popped Mindbender's head on him. And if you're really careful, you can just slide the monocle. It has a tiny little peg in his head, and it just comes right out. And I just took the Valaverse Sergeant Slaughter glasses, and I slapped them right on there. And now you have Bronson, because he's jacked like that. I'll put a picture right here, and just take a look at the comparison of this mug and the other mug. It's hilarious. Up next, we're going to take a look at the Valaverse Swarm figure, and I also got the accessory pack with it, but holy fucking shit, this thing is awesome. I am so glad I found this thing for $60 with the other pack. I am a fool for not ordering this. The detail and just the originality of this figure is fucking awesome. The paint is really good. I like the belts, the accessories. I like the gun. I like the color. I like the theme. This jetpack is fucking awesome. These move up and down and they're stiff. They're not gonna go anywhere. I could just shake this fucker all around and he's not going anywhere. This thing came with an array of shit. Look at this bag. It is just full of stuff. Look at all this. This figure came with like a million hands, 2 stands. I don't even have the other stand because I didn't need 2 stands out. But look, even in the accessory pack, you get a clear stand that's special for this gear pack. That's awesome. You get these themed machine guns and grenade launcher. It came with this like crazy machine gun sniper rifle thing. I really dig this. He also came with a knife And all the detail on the shield being clear and however the hell that weird reflection in the helmet works is awesome. I wish I ordered at least 3 or 4 of these so I had a squad of them. I'm sold on the Valiverse stuff now. Real quick, we got the Mafex stealth suit Batman. This is from the Hush comic book written by Jeff Loeb and drawn by Jim Lee. I think Mafex just nails the Jim Lee art, just translates it into a toy awesome. I like everything about the Mafex line, except for they should all have some kind of thigh cut, because it just limits the articulation, and they pop apart, but I'm not going to cry about that because I know how imports are. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, it looks like the Batman from the comic book. Has the soft goods cape with the wire in it, so you could get it to do all kinds of different poses. You could get his arms up like he's flying down at you. Look at me, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I like it. It's pretty good. I like that they scaled back the cloak on this one. I wish they did that with the Hush one because it's just out of control. And for the comparison, here is the first run of the Hush Batman. And just look at this cape. He's just swimming in cape. And you can't take it off. It's in there forever. And if you want to fuck with it, you are just going to ruin like a $200 toy. And I do have my limit on what I will destroy for customs. When things get over like the $150 range, I won't fuck with them. But I really do like this Batman. You can push the cape back, but for a comparison, it's cool. It's just another version of the Hush Batman. But all in all, I got him at a heavy discount because he's starting to be liquidated at certain distributors, so I got a good deal. I'm very happy about this one. And next up, we got the Crimson Bat from the G.I. Joe Classified line. I really like it. I like the colors. I like everything going on it. The different colored plastics are just going to be a thing with G.I. Joe, so I'm ready to deal with it. But the knees are always this lighter color, and then the thighs are always like a matte, and then like the chests are always shiny, and then the arms are always matte, and then the heads are always matte. And I'm gonna stop complaining, but this seems to be a trend that kind of sucks in these. And yeah, we get a lot of shit with them, and I love them, but they shouldn't be cheaping out on the plastic. Like, I know the torsos have got to be made out of different plastic, and I understand all that, but I mean, put some paint on it to even it out or something. But all in all, you really are just getting the same friggin' figure again. I really do like the bats. There is a flaw in the legs. These joints are ridiculously bad, and I've had to mess with them a bunch. And if you just like sneeze wrong, like, I could just like pry this leg right out, like no problem, because of the plastic so soft. I'm not gonna do it, but he's made kind of crappy, and I really did have to push his torso in because he was just bobbing so high. And for a quick comparison, he does match up. The color does match up. The plastic looks right. You can see shiny knee versus not so shiny knee. They definitely look like they're in the same squad. So I dig it. It's a piece of crap. Every one of these in the line so far that I've looked at has a problem. It does suck, but I love this line and I'm just going to keep going with it, but I will constantly complain about it. And then there was this beautiful son of a bitch right here. Now let me show you what I did. I didn't do anything major. I just like to do light kit bashing. I don't like to Dremel and drill unless I have to. I mean, the heads always get it, unfortunately, especially when they're NECA heads. And yeah, I know I mutilated a $150 action figure, but I've been collecting so long, I bought 1 million of these Arnolds because I knew I would kit bash them till the end of time, and no, I do not have any for sale. Now back to this figure. Anybody who collects Mezco pretty much knows exactly what I did, and I'm not saying I'm a genius, and I'm not saying I'm inventive, but I like to just futz around and have fun. So basically, the woolly loincloth, the battle belt, cape, and arm covers, even the axe, all came from that second release of Conan the Barbarian from 112 Collective. And the base body is just the new Hercules. And all I did was just take off his chest harness and pop his head. And this is just an awesome gladiator barbarian version of Arnold that is not Conan. Something about it is so basic but so right. So at the end of the day, and my final thoughts are, always go to your local toy shows, because you're always gonna find something fun, new, that you didn't know you need or wanted. Like, I wasn't thinking about this Valiverse Swarm figure, but now I freaking love it. I also got to buy a bunch of cheap Marvel Legends that I really wanted for my collection. I just didn't want to overpay for them online. So I saved a bunch of money on shipping. I had fun digging around. It was really fun. I also saw Disavowed there and got to break his chops for 30 seconds. And I had a bunch of ideas for Kitbashes this week that I got to share with you. So this was fun as hell as always. And that's all I got, people. And I'd like to thank you for stopping by. And I'll catch you on the next review. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.